Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the horoscope for the month of April 2023. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So up on the screen here is a depiction of the different transits that are going to take place during this month of April. And this is a huge month as we are going to have a solar eclipse along with Jupiter finally making its way into the sign of Aries. We have a lot of activity mainly happening within the sign of Aries. So especially for those of you who have a cardinal sign or one of the Kendra signs, or if you have a fire sign, then this is going to be a major month for you. So starting off here, we have a full moon in the Hasta Nakshatra. So this is definitely a time of letting go. The full moon we know is all about bringing things to a place of completion. And Hasta, especially as it is signified by a hand or a fist, is about grasping onto things. So this full moon is all about letting go of those tight attachments that you have that are no longer serving you. The sign of Virgo, as we know, is ruled by Mercury. So there's a lot of analysis, a lot of intellectual powers that are within this sign of Virgo. So this especially is about letting go of anything that you are worrying about, that you are trying to predict that might happen, really getting out of that space of anxiety and overanalyzing, letting go of all of those worries and concerns that no longer serve you. Following this, Venus will enter into its own sign of Taurus on the same day here on the 6th of April. So Venus feels very comfortable in the sign of Taurus. However, when Venus comes into Taurus, it will be hemmed by the Sun and Mars. So this is a bit of a difficult position for Venus to be, as the Sun is definitely an enemy of Venus and Mars is a malefic. So it is in a position where it is being hemmed or restricted by two malefics. So this is a little bit of a difficult period for relationships. You want to be very careful about how you are approaching relationships, not allowing anger or ego to get into the way of your connections. It's very important at this time. This can definitely be a time where you feel like you are stuck in a situation that you can't resolve. As this continues, though, this gets better. Venus being here in its own sign of Taurus, once again, is an excellent position. So as Venus comes out of this hemming by the Sun and Mars, this is definitely going to make relationships very peaceful, very well grounded. You can have a great deal of conversation and communication to work out any sort of conflicts. This is also an excellent time for family, as the sign of Taurus is connected to our early childhood and our sense of family and community. For some of you, Venus can also help you in the area of wealth and business, as Taurus is a very entrepreneurial sign. And Venus, of course, is all about the luxuries of life. So this is an excellent placement. Once again, Venus feels very much at home here in Taurus, so giving you a great sense of comfort and happiness. Following this, on the 14th, the Sun will enter into the sign of Aries. So Sun feels exalted in Aries, especially within the first asterism of Ashwini. So right away, coming into this energy of Sun and Aries, there is a lot of strong energies coming in. This can definitely be a time of feeling a boost in your energy levels for some of you, and really getting a feeling of confidence, of charisma, of really feeling that you are in control of things and moving forward, having that forward momentum. Following this, on the 20th, we will have a solar eclipse. And of course, the solar eclipse is a very inauspicious time, as an eclipse is always where we have a shadow body that is covering up one of our luminaries. So the darkness is blocking out the sun during the eclipse. And in this case, this will be Rahu, which is covering up the sun. So this is definitely a time to not act hastily coming into this solar eclipse. This especially being in the nakshatra of Ashwini, you want to be very careful of any sort of ego issues or any sort of impulsiveness. Ashwini is all about speed. So you want to make sure that you are thinking through all of your decisions during this eclipse. Following this, on the 21st, we will have Mercury entering into the sign of Aries retrograde. So this will actually station in the nakshatra of Bharani. So as Mercury comes retrograde here, this is always, of course, a time of review, of going over everything, making sure that you're not missing out on any of the details. But as Mercury is here in Aries, this is creating a bit of a conflict here, as Mars is not happy with Mercury, and Mercury has come into the house of Mars. So this is definitely a time to not be impulsive about your decision making. There's all of this passion and intensity that is here in Aries, where you can make quick decisions and jump ahead without thinking it through. And Bharani, where this retrograde will take place, of course, is known as the star of restraint. So there is a need for self-restraint coming into this Mercury retrograde. Once again, not making hasty decisions, but finding a sense of patience and discipline is very important. Later on the 21st, we will finally see Jupiter entering into the sign of Aries. So we've been waiting for this transit for some time now. And Jupiter, of course, is friends with Mars. So this is a very positive transit as Jupiter comes into Aries. But this is not quite like Jupiter was in its own sign of Pisces, where it was more of a hermit, more of a mystic going inward. But here in Aries, Jupiter is very active, very adventurous, very ambitious. So this is a very fiery energy. This is definitely a time of being more outgoing, of being more focused on achieving your goals and pushing forward in life. This is encouraging you to live your life to the fullest and to incorporate a sense of excitement and activity in through this Jupiter in Aries. You do want to be careful though, because as Jupiter comes into the sign of Aries, it will come into a conjunction with Rahu. So Rahu tends to blow things out of proportion. And Jupiter, of course, is already a planet of expansion. So you want to be very careful about over expanding in the area where Jupiter is placed within your natal chart. At the same time, Jupiter can help to pacify some of the negative effects of Rahu. So for those of you who have been struggling with this Rahu transit, Jupiter coming in here will bless you in this area where Rahu is positioned. So let's go ahead and talk about how this month of April will affect each of you according to your moon sign or ascendant sign. And just a quick disclaimer, I am using Vedic Sidereal astrology. So I am not using Western tropical astrology. You want to make sure that you have the correct information so that you get the right interpretation. If you are not sure what your sidereal signs are, there is a calculator down below in the description where you can find out that information. For those of you with a Virgo moon or Virgo ascendant, we will start off this month of April with a full moon in your first house. So definitely you are making some major changes at this time. You can make some changes in your appearance for some of you, really changing your hairstyle or your sense of fashion at this time, really changing your looks and appearance during this full moon. But this is definitely a major time of letting go of the past and welcoming in a new chapter into your life. Following this, we will also have Venus, which is entering into Taurus for you, very auspicious during this time. We will have Venus, which is entering into that 9th house of your chart. So this definitely can help you in your studies, especially getting into creative studies. Anyone involved in fashion arts, this is excellent at this time. You could also get the favor of a female teacher or mentor as well. For some of you, Venus in this 9th house getting you thinking about traveling, thinking about future plans, things that you would like to do with your life at this time, really coming into the picture, and definitely thinking about your financial situation and how you want to manage this as well. Venus here can get you closer with your family members. This is a very happy time overall. We're also going to see the sun, which is shifting into your 8th house here as it comes into the sign of Aries. So this is getting you a little bit more into an introspective mode, really diving deep. This is excellent for any kind of studies, research. This can definitely help you in your education, really getting you to dive deep and to dissect information in this 8th house. This can cause some conflicts, though, around relationships and joint resources. So definitely you are feeling very independent as the sun comes into this 8th house, which can create some obstacles for you. Mainly, the sun here is going to help you in terms of any sort of obstacles or sudden situations in life, giving you the strength to overcome a lot of sudden changes and obstacles. Following this, you will also have a solar eclipse that is happening here in Ashwini. So this 8th house is really big for you this month. You're going through some major transformations and changes. During this solar eclipse, you want to be careful about making any sort of major decisions around finances, as Rahu will be blocking out the light of the sun. We're also going to see a Mercury retrograde here in this 8th house, so encouraging you to really review your financial situation to make sure that you're on top of everything. This also can get you into reviewing your health as well. Mercury, of course, is your 1st house ruler, ruling over your physical body, coming into this 8th house of sudden situations and hidden illnesses. So you want to make sure that you're taking the time to review everything. This is definitely going to give you a lot of strong analytical power to bring up some hidden information. Jupiter will also enter into the 8th house, so this is definitely going to help you with your spirituality. Those of you who are on a spiritual journey, taking you deeper into this and really opening you up to mysticism, occult, this is definitely a time of diving deeper into all of this. Jupiter aspecting onto your 12th house can get you into meditation or isolation, which can give you some deep introspection. Jupiter will also aspect onto your 2nd house, so you may be finding some clever new ways to bring in resources and to sort out your finances. This also can be a major time of new relationship situations coming in as well, as Jupiter is ruling over your 7th house of marriage and partnership, coming into this 8th house, deepening your connections. Rahu joining up with this as well, which is a secondary ruler for your chart. So this can be a time where you're thinking about some long-term situations around relationships. You want to be careful in this area, though, and make sure that you are being cautious, as there can be a lot of sudden changes here in this 8th house.